Barakati Hawa, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Hawa, Barakati Yahushai, Barakati Hawa, Barakata Yahushai. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakak Wadash. That belongs to apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to you, beloved Akim. That is pushing his word in sincerity and truth with humiliation all across the fall and see you. I salute. This is the brothers Zion back at you with another lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. And I want to get into a brief lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. In the same precept here, Proverbs 15 and 16, it says, better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith. Better is little with the fear of the Lord. Alright, because ain't much people out here have the fear of the Lord. Okay? Ain't much people have the fear of the Lord. Alright, because a lot of these people, they believe because they have their little wealth and abundance, and they getting, their money, and they have it abundantly, like, they believe the Lord dealing with them. But a lot of these people are corrupt and wicked. Alright, they corrupt and they wicked. Alright. They allow money, the love of money to get to them and cause them to be morally corrupt. Because ain't nothing wrong with having money and funds. But, it could be a snare. Like the scripture saying it's a rock. It could be a snare if you sacrificed it. I think that's in the book of Sirach. I forget what chapter. Let me see if I can find it quick. Hold on for me. Let me see if I can get that preset quick. Let me see if I can find that precept quick. I can't remember which chapter. Let me put up sacrificed it. Let me see if I can find that. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Right. Gold had been the ruin. This is Sirach 31:6. Let me start at verse 5. He that loveth gold shall not be justified, and he that falleth corruption shall have enough thereof. Gold had been the ruin of many, and their destruction was present. It is a stumbling block unto them that sacrifice unto it, and every fool should be taken therein. Alright? You see, every fool should be taken unto it. Alright? You sacrifice unto it. It could be a snare and a trap. Alright, so the scriptures say, Proverbs 15 and 16, better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith. Now, I had a chance to look it up in the AI overview. Check this out. It says, better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith. It means that peace, contentment, and healthy relationship with power, with the Most High, are far more valuable than wealth. While having money isn't inherently bad, pursuing it without power often leads to anxiety, moral compromise, and constant stress. You see, pursuing it without the Most High. Alright? This says the verse breaks down into two core truths. A little with the fear of the Lord. This represents a model of simple life grounded in reverent obedience to God. You see that? True reverence brings order, stability, and deep inward peace. Alright, these people will get money, they ain't get no principle. Alright, they ain't get no morals. Alright, it says, great treasure and trouble therewith. The pursuit of wealth often brings unintended chaos. It acts as a warning that riches without spiritual grounding frequently result in sleepless nights, greed, and spiritual emptiness. This is what happens when you chase money other than the Lord. Alright, because you want to get more and more. Alright, this is what you want to get more and more. Alright, the proverb challenges that worldly illusion The proverb challenges the worldly illusion that more is always better by prioritizing the quality of life over the quantity of possessions. You see? All right. So better is a little with a fear of the Lord. All right, because once you contend by, hey, all right, that's ain't nothing better than that. Be content with the Lord give you, by. All right, godliness with contentment. What? That's great gain. All right. Let me see if I get a precept. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 9. No, we start at verse 6. 1 Timothy chapter 6 and 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain. That reverence and that fear for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Coming back to your nationality, you doing the right thing, serving the Lord, having that fear, reverent for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, and you will understand in this truth. Some brothers have wealth, have more than others, but it could be a snare when you sacrifice to it. Brother's gonna be in good position financially. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but at the end of the day, when you seeking these things more than the Lord, that's when it becomes a problem. It could be an idol. It says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. What's contentment? A perfection condition of life in which no aid or support is needed. Sufficiency of the necessities of life. Sufficiency. A mind contented with its lot. Contentment. You see? Sufficiency. When you look up the word sufficiency, it's the state or quality of being enough or adequate to meet the needs of a specific situation. It implies that having the necessary amount of resources, power of qualification without an excess. What the scripture say? The symbol. All right, the symbol. Let me get this in the book of Sirach. Give me a minute. All right. I said the simple. It's the chief thing. Salah. It says the chief thing for life is water and bread and a clothing and a house to cover shame. These are the chief things. All right. Water, your bread, your food, and your clothing. And the house to cover shame. They chief things. These are basic necessities. So once you get them, all right, it might be little, but by thank Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, by thank Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because it's a blessing to have that. Okay, it's a blessing to have that. You see, it's a blessing to have those things, but all right. It says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. That's great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it's certain we can carry nothing out. You see anybody carry anything to the grave? All right. No. You don't carry nothing to the grave. All right. And having food and raiment, let us thereof be content. You see that? Once you have the chief things, you good. But check this out. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts. When you're chasing that bag, which draw men to destruction and perdition. We see that with men, fall out. Okay. And you see Sakari them chasing that bag. The Spirit of the Lord leave them, by. Because why? For the love of money is the root of all evil, the love of money, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. You see that? They erred from the faith. We see these men erred from the faith, chasing that bag, making merchandise and doing all kind of wicked shit. But thou, O man of God, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. You see that? Follow these things, but you see? All right. Let me get another precept. To the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Let's get Psalms 37 and 16. It says, a little that a righteous man had is better than the riches of many wicked. You see that? A little that a righteous man have. All right. So you bless. You know, you have might not much as other people, but you bless. Because these people would have it all. Case in point, grand scheme of things. Look at Esau. Look how wicked he have. Look how wicked he is, Salah. All the possessions he have. Look how wicked he have. Look how the earth is being run. You all right? And our people were trying to make it, yeah. All right. What you get, be thankful, by. It's a blessing, by. All right, we bless among many. These people don't get a fear of the Lord. All right, they don't understand prophecies. All right, they in darkness. You know, sometimes you'll feel bad. You catching all kind of at least wicked people prospering, but be glad. Because they might be loaded with them damn shots in their body. Gotta be all standing doctor. Gotta be spending all kind of money for healthcare, their children and everything. But you blessed, boy. And you might not have no problem. You might be catching hell, but hey, the Lord still providing. So a little that a righteous man has is better than the riches of many wicked, boy. It's a blessing, boy. It's a blessing what we know, what we have, boy. It's a blessing that you have Hashem Yahushai. You know, you got to be contented with your Lord, boy. You know, be content with your Lord. All right. What it says in the book of Tobit. Let's see what it says in the book of Tobit, the 12th chapter, what the angel Raphael tell them. All right. That's Tobit 12, verse 8. It says, prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. He's saying the same thing. It is better to give alms than lay up gold. So a little with righteousness, serving the Lord. All right, we ain't got nothing much. It's better than much with unrighteousness. All right. So these people could have the world out here, but they don't have Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They don't have the Lord. All right. They don't have the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Bless is a blessing for us. All right. It's a blessing for us. That's why the scriptures say, give me neither poverty or riches. That's food convenient for me. All right. Okay. That's in the book of Ecclesiastes. I think that's in the book of Ecclesiastes. Give me a minute. Convenient. Let's start about that precept just now. It says, Proverbs 30:8, remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of the Lord in vain. Okay? So it's a balance. You see, it's a balance. It's a balance. All right. So, at the end of the day, it's Proverbs 16 and 18. Better is a little bit righteousness than great revenues without. All right. When you go into the AMP, it says, better is a little bit righteousness than great income gained with injustice. You see that? You see? And that's a lot of these people in particular, and also Esau. NLT, better to have little with godliness than to be rich and dishonest. And that's these people out here. So it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing for us, boy. Okay, a blessing to have this truth and whatever the Lord gave us, boy. Be content with what you get. All right, at the end of the day. But yeah, man. Just want to bring those to spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Yeah, man. Shalom.